Well, hey, it's Barry from the Music Money Podcast, and in today's episode, I'm going to walk you through how you can sell more merch. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. I just ran a merch campaign for my band here a few weeks ago, and I wanted to kind of review what happened with that, and then I'm also going to talk about some merch campaigns that I've run in the past. We can kind of compare and contrast. But why do you want to run a merch campaign? Well, the thing is, you need to be able to reach out to your fans on a regular basis. You want to build a rapport with them. You want to build engagement and all that, but you also want to sell some stuff, right? We actually need to make money with our music business, right? This is the Music Money Podcast. Now, it's not all about that. I do know that it's important to, not always be going to your fans and asking them for money, asking them, to check out your new single. It's important to build engagement and give them value. But I do believe that on a regular basis that you need to be able to make your fans an offer. So we're going to talk about offers. We're going to talk about what are some good offers, maybe some not so great offers, and some offers that we've actually ran in the past with success. So my first tip with running a successful merch campaign is you need to give it a title or a theme. It's kind of, you need to give them a reason why. Why are you running this campaign? And that reason why, those can be pretty varied. So I'm going to give you an idea of a sale that I actually ran that was pretty successful not too long ago. It was last year around this time when we were in the middle of the pandemic, and I called it the Get My Wife Off My Case t-shirt sale. And if you can see here on screen, for those of you who are watching this on YouTube, and then for those of you that are just listening on the podcast, I have an email on screen here. And what I did is I sent an email. I took a picture where I've got all these t-shirts just kind of sitting, running amok and overtaking my living room or my dining room table. And it's got all sorts of papers around and kind of that kind of stuff. It's just kind of a mess. And that was a legitimate thing. What I was doing, I was going through our t-shirts and I was taking inventory. I mean, we had hats, we had all that kind of stuff. And so, my wife said, hey, you need to get all that band junk off of my dining room table. I mean, where are we supposed to eat, So what I did is I ran an email campaign to my fans, and I kind of used that as an excuse, or that was the title, that was the theme, to get the band junk off of her dining room table. I called it the Get My Wife Off My Case t-shirt sale. And, and it was kind of an attention-getting subject line, a little bit kind of cute. And so people did open up the email. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at the number. Okay, so that was actually the second email that I sent. So the first email that I sent had a 25% open rate, which is pretty good. So the first email that I sent with that promotion was, the subject line said, get those t-shirts out of my dining room, and I had that in quotations, sale. So get those t-shirts out of my dining room, sale. And that had about 25% open rate, and that at the time we had around 4,800 people on our email list. And so that meant over 1,100 people open that subject line, open that email. So you really need to think about what you put in your subject line. If it's something compelling, if you can make it something compelling, it certainly pays to do that. And then a click-through rate to the actual sale page that we had set up on the first email was 7.46%. It was 360 people clicked that email, which was pretty great. And then on the second email that we sent, just a couple days later, we had 21% people open that up, and then 4%, 199 of those people actually clicked through and went to the sale. Now, what was the bottom line with that particular promotion? Well, at the end of the day, here I am in Shopify. Now, I use both Shopify and Woocommerce. I'm eventually going to just switch over completely to Woocommerce because it's free. Shopify works pretty well, but it's kind of expensive. It's like $50 a month. But I did the wife sale, and I had 15 orders that were placed. So if you think, it was a $5 off coupon. So I think the t-shirts were around $20 is what they ended up paying for it. So that means that we ended up selling around $300 worth of t-shirts. Not bad, especially at a time when we really needed the money because the band was not playing at the time. We were in the middle of the pandemic. Everybody was in quarantine. All of our gigs got canceled. So it was really nice to be able to send out those emails and have a little fun with it as well with the t-shirt sale, and to get rid of some of that inventory and make some cash. Okay, so another promotion that I ran, it was just a straight up 4th of July sale. It was less than a month later. I needed to go ahead and move some more of those t-shirts, needed to generate some more cash. So we ran a 4th of July, buy one, get one free t-shirt sale. And I put that right there in the subject line. And so we ended up doing, that's the BOGO one you see here. So that was 10 of those that we sold for around $220. So that was around $200 worth of t-shirts that we sold with this promotion. Let's take a look at the results of that email. So I sent just, let's see, one email with that. I'm not sure why I only sent one. It seems a little like I usually would normally send more. Okay, so I had around 14% people open the email. There were 5,800 because we're constantly adding to our email list. We're selling CDs online. We're getting people to download our music. So we grew our email list by around 900 people. And at the time, we had around 14%. So 813 people opened that email, and 1.8% of them clicked through. So 107 people clicked through to it, and we ended up selling $200 worth of t-shirts. But, now granted, we ran that promotion in less than a month from the time that we ran the first promotion. And, I went ahead and just used it as an example, as an excuse to go ahead and get the message out that we needed, to generate some more funds for the band. People understood that the band wasn't playing. It's okay to play that card. I wouldn't play it too often. Don't play the sympathy card too often. But people were kind of in a sympathizing type of mood at the time because, everybody was in the same boat. We were all quarantined from the pandemic. Now this is a big thing that I like to do is I like to include the inventory. If I'm doing something limited, now I'm kind of skipping ahead in the presentation here, but it's always important that if you have some sort of limitation, like if you only have a certain number of shirts or only have a certain number of hats or hoodies or whatever it is, to let those people know that because people, if they want a particular size or particular color, and they don't want to miss out, if they see that you only have one left, that's maybe enough. I mean, that's why, like when you go to Amazon, and it says only one left in stock, order now, it makes you think, oh man, I don't want to miss out on that inventory. You can use that to your advantage. Okay, so last but not least, I'm definitely going to focus a little bit more on the promotion that I just ran here in the last couple weeks. Now, I have an entire course that I've developed for this that you can get 100% for free, where I'm going to walk you through every step on how to set this up. We're going to look at Woocommerce on how to set up products. And if you're not familiar with Woocommerce is a free platform, because if you're not selling merch now, but you know that you should be, which everybody should be, if you have a band or if you're an artist, you should be selling merch. And if you're actually using physical inventory, like you're buying t-shirts and you have boxes sitting in your garage or whatever, and you're trying to sell those to actual fans, you want to move that inventory. Because the thing is, I mean, I'm a big fan of print-on-demand services like Printful.com, and later on I'll show you how I use Printful. But if you have physical inventory that you want to move, you can usually make a lot better profit margins if you're selling that product. But that's the bad thing about merch too. Sometimes you have to get $500 worth of t-shirts, and it takes you a long time to get rid of those t-shirts. So, but you might be wondering, how do I actually sell those? Maybe you've looked at systems like Shopify, and $50 a month is man, it kind of is like, man, that seems really expensive. Woocommerce is a WordPress plugin. Now, if you don't know what any of that means, WordPress is a website building software. You may not even realize, maybe your website, if it was set up by a web designer, it may have been a WordPress website. If you don't know, reach out to your web designer and find out if it is. You can actually put a plugin, which is basically just an added bit of software, and it's free. It's called Woocommerce. You can look it up, and you can actually set it up to where you can take money with either PayPal or Stripe. Stripe is a credit card processing kind of software that you can use it for free. There's no monthly fees or anything. I mean, they charge you with every charge that you get, but it totally works great. It's just kind of like PayPal, but it just accepts credit cards instead of PayPal money. But I always suggest using both PayPal and credit cards, offering people the option to pay with both, because you'd be amazed at how many people want to pay with PayPal because they just might have some PayPal money just kind of sitting in an account. And they're like, hey, $30 for a t-shirt. Sure, I'll go ahead and buy that. But anyway, so in the course, the free course that I mentioned, you can get it at musicmoney.tv. Just click, you'll see a banner over there. It says a merch course, how to sell more merch. Click on that and I will walk you through how to set up WooCommerce, how to set up a product, and how to, you can connect it to your Stripe account. You can connect it to PayPal. It's not that tough if you watch the course just to know exactly how to set up a t-shirt. You can clone the page that you design, and then you can do other t-shirts, but WooCommerce can be a little tricky. WordPress in general can be a little bit tricky. It can be a little techy, but when you have someone just walking you through exactly what to do, click here, type this in, hit save, that kind of thing. That's what I do in the how to sell more merch course. And then I also walk you through how to, set up an email campaign. I'm going to show you on screen the email campaign that I actually did, but I'll show you how to actually set it up, how to do a text message blast. If you're not doing text messages to your folks, if you've been selling merch and you've been doing it through PayPal, you can actually collect their phone numbers from the PayPal. You just go in and you can download their phone numbers or all their contact information, and you can do a text message list. Text messaging is a great way to get people's attention, and when you have a merch campaign that has a deadline on it. So again, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but I'm excited about this merch course. It took me a long time to put it together. And again, you can get it totally for free. Just go to musicmoney.tv and you'll see the banner right there. It says, how to sell more merch. Sign up for it. It's totally free, and it just walks you through how to do all of this that I'm about to go over. Okay, so let's dive in and take a look. So what I did, I'm going to go back. So we had to give it a title and a theme. So this time what I ended up doing, my birthday was just last week. So I decided to latch on to the Reverend Barry's birthday concept and use that as my campaign idea. So the most important thing with any type of marketing is you must have an irresistible offer. You must have something. If you can come up with something where it's going to stop them dead in their tracks, and they think to themselves, I'd have to be stupid not to do this, or I'd really like to take advantage of that offer. We see those types of offers all the time, right? Sometimes somebody offers you a once in a lifetime discount, and you're just like, man, I got to take this. I'm not going to see this again. We see that kind of thing happens all the time. That's what gets people to take action. It just works. So what I actually came up with a couple different offers. I didn't plan it on doing this way, but so my first thing I said, okay, well, I really want to move copies of our first CD. We have a ton of people. We've had thousands of people have ordered our second CD, but not a ton of them have bought our first CD, which is actually a really great album and has more songs. So I was like, if I could make it to where they could buy it, if they bought a t-shirt, that I would autograph a CD for them. It kind of ties into my birthday a little bit. So I came up with that offer. Well, we ended up selling about 5 t-shirts for around $30 a piece. So we did about $150 in sales with that, but I wasn't really satisfied with that. So I ended up switching the offer midstream of the promotion, and I just kind of went back to the whole buy one, get one. And actually I learned a hard lesson here, actually, just by looking at this campaign or looking at my previous campaigns. My $5 off coupon with the wife sale thing that I mentioned, I actually did better with that, and we were just doing $5 off. I didn't even have to do the buy one, get one. So maybe in the future I'll just do $5 off, but you live and learn. Okay, so here we are. We're at the we're looking at the email. So you can see the subject line just says buy a Reverend Barry t-shirt, period, get an autographed CD. And I've got pictures of the merch in here, and you'll notice that I have an offer expires at midnight August 8th. It's always important to include a deadline, and it doesn't really matter what the deadline is. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's 2 weeks, whatever you think, but you need to put a limitation on it. Limitations are good because it makes people take action. If you don't put any kind of limitation in there, there's really nothing that increases their sense of urgency that they need to act now. So I used August 8th because that's my birthday. It's tied into a birthday promotion. Made sense to me at the time. That was about a week away. But the thing is, I've got product links. I've got the the pictures of the products in here. Now again, I go ahead and I put the inventory. I said we only have 3 mediums in this size, in this color, 12 large, and so on. And I'm just doing that again to just show them I don't have many of these things available. In fact, I even did have somebody reached out to me. They were having a little problem placing their order for some reason, and they reached out to me and said, hey, I don't want to, can we go ahead and take care of this now, because I want to make sure that I don't miss out and somebody orders my shirt. I mean, it really does. People really do take this stuff seriously. Now, before I do all this, though, again, I'm getting kind of ahead of myself. You need to calculate your profit potential to make sure that you can actually make money on this. So in my situation, I knew that if they would take advantage of this autographed CD product, so I'm making around $22 in profit. Now, later on, when I decided to switch and make it a buy one, get one free offer, obviously that cost me more. It's $17.41 in profit after I added it all up. So really the difference was $5.42. Yes, the CDs, that's more profitable for me, but if I'm not selling that many, as I would with the buy one, get one free, it actually ended up kind of becoming a wash. I ended up selling around the same amount of the buy one, get one free versus the autographed CD. But, at the end of the day, I didn't know until I actually tested it. So now your next step needs to be to develop a marketing plan. You'll notice that I'm looking at the email here, but there's a lot of moving parts with this. So again, I'm going to show you the marketing plan, but keep in mind that we do have a free how to sell more merch course that I have at musicmoney.tv. Just go there, you'll click on the banner, it'll take you there. You just create a login, and you can log in, and I walk you through everything that I'm about to show you on screen here, but that I set up for my marketing plan. So one thing, we had to set up a landing page. A landing page is a one-page website. I ended up doing separate landing pages for each one of the t-shirts that I had. So I had men's shirts, I had women's tank tops, and I had women's shirts. And I'll show you the landing pages here on screen. So you can see that I have this is the men's shirt that I have. I have these cool, they're called virtuals. So another thing that I show you in the course is I show you how to create these virtual images. You've all seen these. It's where you have your logo and your t-shirt design on an actual model. You can tell by looking at it that most likely there wasn't a real model, although it looks very realistic, but it's a model that just has a t-shirt, and they've superimposed your logo and your t-shirt design on there. Well, you can do that for free at one of the print-on-demand services called Printful.com, which I also use. I'm not just using their software just so I can make my virtual t-shirts and my stuff, but I'm going to show you in the course how you can do this for free. But basically, so I just created these designs, and then I used Canva.com to create these graphics, to put them side by side. And again, I show you in the course how to use Canva.com to do basic graphics. It's the coolest it's free. They have a free version and a paid version. The free version is great. But now this web page that you're seeing on screen here, if you're watching the YouTube video, this is set up in Woocommerce. And Woocommerce, again, is a plugin for WordPress that you can use to build websites, but more importantly, you can build basically an e-commerce store for your merch and not have to pay any fees, because Woocommerce is free, and WordPress is free as well. So this landing page, it took me a while to set it up, and I show you exactly what I do in the course that I set up. But so as you can see, it's really basic, and but this is a landing page. A landing page wants them to take one action. What I want them to do is I want them to click on add to cart and not be distracted with a bunch of other products or anything like that. I mean, sure, I'd like them to order maybe more than one product, but what I really want them to do is just take advantage of the offer that I put in front of them. So that's another important thing to remember. When you're building landing pages, you really just want that landing page, you want your messaging to be streamlined to where it's, take advantage of this offer, click here, tell them what to do, say click here on this offer, and then they go to the landing page. It makes it easy for them to buy. It shouldn't be any question on how they need to do what they need to do. Okay, in the next step, I created Facebook posts, of course. And now this is the thing. This is your marketing plan. So I'm going to walk you through this, but you need to have all this stuff together to have a successful campaign, and especially something that maybe you can repeat later. You want to have all this stuff in the can to where you have your Facebook posts designed in advance, your images, your Facebook ad designed in advance, any images that you might need for that, or video. I ended up doing a video. Your text messages, you obviously are going to write those, your emails. Now, I ended up doing a lot of emails. Check this out. I actually ended up sending 6 emails over a period of about 2.5 weeks. Because I was really just trying to get the numbers up, because I was unable to perform with the band for a couple months. And so we needed to generate some funds. In fact, this isn't the extent of it. I ended up sending some other ones that I'll show you here in a second. And with YouTube, I actually also put up a YouTube video, because we have people who follow us on YouTube. And then I ended up doing Bands in Town. If you're not on Bands in Town is free. If you're a band that plays out live a lot, you probably are listed on Bands in Town, and you can actually send a message through Bands in Town and get it right to your followers on there. And it can be a promotional message to sell merch. So why wouldn't you use it? So you can see here with my Facebook post, pretty cut and dry. It just has the offer front and center: buy one t-shirt, get one free. One thing that I do like to do is I like to use bit.ly, which is it's a URL shortener. So I have the links to the URL right there. But what bit.ly allows me to do is it allows me to track my response. So I can see on here within bit.ly with the link shortener that I had 17 people clicked on that particular link. It wasn't the only link in there. There's a few number of different links here in Creator Studio. But the thing that I love about Creator Studio is that it lets you publish your Facebook post in a calendar setting and publish them in the future. So you can set up your campaign. You can go through and set up all your posts to go out on certain dates as the deadline draws near for your promotion to be over. And you could do all of that in advance. So that's how you actually create a marketing campaign. You want to do it, just knock it out in a matter of a few hours in one day, and then you just have it go out over time. And another thing to keep in mind too is that you notice that only 17 people, I have close to 18,000 Facebook followers. I only had 17 people that clicked on this link. Now, if all I was doing was promoting on Facebook or Instagram, and I wasn't doing all those emails, and if I wasn't sending the text messages, I would not have made the sales that I made. There's no way. When 17 people are clicking on your link. So that's just the thing. You cannot, you can't just post once and expect people to buy. You have to post numerous times. And that's why Creator Studio is such an effective way to go ahead and just program everything in advance so it goes out on certain dates. And you can just have the same post go out over time, and you can have a slightly modified email go over time, and you can even text messages. You don't want to wear that out because it does ding on people's phones. They're very effective, but you also don't want to wear out your welcome on somebody's phone. But it just shows you that hitting people with the same message from multiple forms of media, because we have fans that have our email that don't follow us on, or that we have their email that don't follow us on Facebook, and vice versa. So there's people that follow you on certain platforms that don't follow you on other platforms. So that's why you need to hit it from all different angles with your marketing plan. Now, I ended up doing a Facebook ad. I ended up doing the Facebook ad just for the autograph CD version. I ran that for a little while, ended up turning it off when I decided to switch the campaign over to the buy one, get one free. But as you can see here, I just made a video right in front of my camera. I held the t-shirts up. I just really wanted it to kind of get people's attention in the news feed, or why am I holding this t-shirt up? And you could see the ad right here. But again, keep in mind, with the free merch campaign course that I've developed in musicmoney.tv, just go to musicmoney.tv. You can sign up for it for free. I walk you through also how I set up the Facebook ad. So this is what I did. I also have on there, if you go to musicmoney.tv, there's a free Facebook ads course. It's an entire course on how to do Facebook advertising specifically to sell music and to sell merch and to sell tickets to shows. These are things that we've learned how to do over close to 9 years that we've been on Facebook doing advertising for our band. So that course is on there. In addition to, you sign up for the merch course, you automatically signs you up for the free Facebook ads course as well. Okay, well, I did some other things. Of course, I sent the text messages. I scheduled on bands in town. And what I did is I put together a marketing calendar, and I said, okay, these are the dates that the emails, the text messages, the posts, all that stuff is going to go out, and it's going to go out. Hopefully, I try to program as much as I could in advance. Most of the software platforms will allow you to do that. And then, so when you're doing that kind of thing, the most important thing to do is write up a plan, write up an offer, figure out how you're going to promote this thing, have a theme, and then, write up your marketing plan, develop your marketing calendar, but most importantly is to execute your plan and follow through. And in fact, you might even want to try 2 different offers to see which one works. Because remember, if you do this once and you succeed and you have a system in place that you're getting new fans all the time, which is a really important thing to have in place, which I don't cover in this video, but I probably will cover. I think I've covered in other podcast episodes on how to generate a system to get new fans consistently. You can run these merch campaigns maybe once per quarter or so and do like a fire sale type of situation, and you can sell, 200, 300, heck, it depends on the size of your list. You may sell $500 or $1,000 or more in merch that you have just sitting in there. If it's sitting in your garage, it's not doing you any good. It's just taking up space, and it's taking up your cash flow, right? You want to get some cash flow to come in. And so again, go to musicmoney.tv, and I walk you through step by step exactly how I do all of this. Even if you're just looking how to use how you can finally use Woocommerce and WordPress to set up your own e-commerce system. If you just watch that video alone, I think has great value. But then, or if you want to learn how to do a successful email campaign or text messaging, or, how the whole thing works together, just go. The course is free. And while you're there, again, sign up for the free Facebook advertising course. There's a lot of different modules in there. It's specific to musicians and for music on how you can sell, tickets to shows, get people to download your music, get people to buy CDs, get people to buy your music. It's all right there. It's for free at musicmoney.tv. Again, thank you for listening to the Music Money Podcast, and we will see you next time.